I think most of us have a particular game that they always wanted to play when they were a little kid. And after 28 years, I have found that game. And I wish I hadn't. This is Burn Cycle, a full-blazed full-motion video game, which released in 1994. I remember seeing loads of advertisement for it in game magazines, and I was super hyped being 12 years old. This would have been the first interactive cyberpunk movie ever. So I want a CDI console, which is a story for another time, but couldn't afford the game at that young age. But I never stopped thinking about the game. In fact, I just got reminded of this game because I just watched Johnny Mnemonic. Because that's the plot, sort of. I played the PC version, but the game also had a release on the Mac in 1995. Since this was the pinnacle of FMV gaming, the game makes full use of that aspect. CDI was the console to boast those full motion video graphics and made no expense. Now if you grew up in the 90s, you will fully recognize and cringe at the edgy cyberpunk, futuristic settings. You are Soul Cutter, a hacker that has a virus implanted in his brain with a timer set for 2 hours. After that, the virus makes your head explode. The game just throws you in the game, which is fine if you want to build up a coherent and evolving storyline for the player. However, Burn Cycle does none of these things. Cutter needs to escape from what I think is some kind of laboratory he found himself in. You grab some stuff from the table with no explanation and start shooting at random men in black suits. The first thing that irritated me is how inconsistent navigating through these corridors is. The green arrow shows a path of possibility, but you might end up taking certain paths incorrect. Now I want to lay some judgment on how the game looks, but I won't be too harsh on it. I mean, this game was made almost 30 years ago, but nowadays it looks hilarious in some places. The pre-rendered scenery looks fine, giving its age, but the blue screen effect is not the best. You can see serrated edges on the actors' their outlines, and the end of the blue screen environment when characters move. It looks silly, but I can forgive it, seeing its zeitgeist of production. Anyway, Cutter escapes the tunnels, finds his partner on the other side of the wall, she gets shot, by whom we don't know, and it seems this girl is made of 80% blood and nothing else. You place that bomb thingy that you retrieved from the first room, place it on the door, and it explodes. You walk through, find the girl flattened by a steamroller on the floor, grab her things, and get into, clearly inspired by Blade Runner, a VTOL vehicle. Now here's why I had the urge to smash my screen in bits. This shooting sequence, which comes up a second time later in the game, is one of the most unfair things in the game. As you go up, these blob-like meteorites fly towards you. Again, I have no idea why, and explode whenever they touch your vehicle. I shoot, and die time after time. You can clearly see that I hit those blobs multiple times. It feels like a game of chance at some point. Miraculously, I finished the sequence, while one of the blobs is still in flight towards me. But the game said, nah, we fucked around enough with you, go on. Mind you, I have no idea where I'm heading, or should be heading. The game just lets you loose and figure shit by yourself. I land the vehicle in some city, walk around by clicking, and find myself in some bar with B-rate cyberpunk float of people. They move whenever I stand still, but when I move, they don't move. Alright you flat cardboards, do whatever you want. The objective here is so vague. I clicked around here for half an hour or so, till I found out I was in the wrong place at first. Did I mention that this game is 100% linear? You can't do one thing without doing something else first. I went outside towards another venue, with another trippy scenery, where the camera just floats all over the place. Took place in some booth and talked with a Buddha-like character. The thing is, Cutter has no money, but needs money on his credit card to advance, to play a game in that previous venue, so he can unlock items which he needs to give to someone. Get it? Nah, forget it. It's also random anyway, even my head spun in disbelief. The one thing that Burn Cycle is great at is letting you solve the most cryptic puzzles with no manual, with the most awkward controls. This puzzle took me seriously a full half hour before I almost wanted to stop the game. Somehow you have to make these figures flow the correct way. Man, I got so pissed and agitated, started over many times, trying to figure this shit out. I just started clicking randomly, hoping it would automatically solve without me even watching. And then somehow at another try, I clicked twice and I solved it. Wow, okay. I had no idea, or frankly I didn't give two shits. I was just glad it was over. I strolled back to the bar venue to find another great mandatory puzzle, which you need credits for. But first, a random cutscene. Alright, thank you for showing me this, I guess. Every move you make costs you time. so it's best to save every time you engage in some kind of puzzle, or anything that might take up more time. I insert my credit card in this machine, and this minigame has you shown floating symbols that are incoming at the screen. Personally, I found this extremely annoying to watch, to put it mildly. For real, I fucking hated it. You have to press the left mouse button at the right moment for the corresponding symbol. That symbol gets circled, and after two symbols, a line connects between them. The point is to make a triangle with lines connecting between three symbols. Alright, seems doable. Except factor in these symbols blasting towards you, that annoying sound, and the fact that you have to win this minigame 5 times. This shit kept me occupied for an hour, simply because every time you lose, it slashes away valuable time from Cutter's head that's about to explode. So I had to load my save point, insert my credit card again, take it from the machine, and hear that fucking narrator say time after time if I need the rules explained. It's an annoying process that could have been created in a much smoother way. Anyway, every time you win, you need to go up to the bar, talk to this lady at the bar, drag your prize from the counter and stash it in your inventory, again 5 times. After the first time, a random character appears next to the machine called ASCII. How original, in which you must enter your credit card, to who gives you coordinates. All of this isn't explained whatsoever. It's interesting, I can tell you that, but it's inconsistent, nonsensical, and I have no clue how this strings together to a storyline. What is even up with Cutter's face during this minigame anyway? So after an hour of this bullshit, I went towards this floating TV, clicked on some items, and this character called Zip that is sitting across from me tells me that I should talk with him.
Hey Cutter, good to see you, man. I'll meet you back on the other side.
I think he's in some kind of cyberspace, so that might be the reason why he is in a coma or something. Did I mention how British this game is?
There's two kinds of people in this world. Those that rush and those that don't. Now you've got your derma rush, that's for the fleshies. You've got your skydiving, your racing, your orbit jumping, all those things that move your body through time and space.
I reckon this game was produced in the UK, but this character Zip defines British. You have to give the 5 items to him. Actually, he's only interested in 1, and eventually he trades it for 2 items from his stash, and goes back into his cyber coma. I leave the booth and are thrown in a cutscene where this edgy cyber woman is presented. She looks like a B-grade Spice Girl and gets into a fight. I shoot the guys that were harassing her, then go outside with her, and we get to enjoy her wonderful acting skills.
You got a cute ass. Okay, some ground rules. No touching, stroking, or fondling. Strictly looky-looky, and you pay for what I break.
This game has a tendency of introducing characters with no backstory. At this point I just roll with it. Fuck it, show me what weird bullshit I'm up for next. I walk and click around and drift towards a hotel. Man, I swear these waypoints are so inconsistent in getting to places you want to be. Hey, there's a guy over there strolling. Maybe he can help me. Hey mister! Ah shit, I forgot to save. So I have to do all this shit with getting the items from Zip and watching Letter Spice over again. The second time I saw another woman running from across the screen from left to right, only to be seen never again. Okay, fine. The tragedy at the hotel is that Letter Spice needs to act as a decoy and seduce that strolling honcho. And then she judo chops his neck in the most shit edited scene. At least I think she did. She might as well tapped him. I love how they said this scene looks fine, with the actors floating across the horizontal plane. So next you have to punch in a code to get access to the elevator shaft next to the hotel. Cutter and Letter Spice enter a card box in real life, and you get to watch a cutscene with exceptional acting performances.
This is fun. Usually I like to keep my knees below my ears on a first date.
Could have waited outside.
I could have, Pigeon, but then you might have flown the coop. This way I get to protect my investment.
Listen, Shakira. We ain't partners for life, just as long as it takes me to get you your cash.
Ooh, now you really hurt my feelings.
Won't flatter myself with that.
I guess this is our floor.
At this point, Letter Spice really started to annoy the fuck out of me. Here's what I don't get. You click around to find your way in the hotel. Cutter and Letter both carry guns, but when you encounter the first bad guy, Cutter gets shot with no option for the player to fire back. Why even show them carrying guns? Simply because the developers want you to check closely and take a side entrance towards a hotel room before the corner. Now this shit had me cackling for real. No one said, hey, this doesn't look right, or the producer really digged that Dutch angle. This cutscene clearly shows that the camera operator should have kept the camera still, because the pre-rendered backdrop remains still as well. It looks weird. Another puzzle. For what reason? I don't fucking know. You have to defuse a bomb as fast as possible by lining up the 3 colors in a straight line towards the bottom. There's no timer, so boom, game over. I tried it again, this time at a faster pace, unlocking a safe with these hideous looking items, one of them being night vision goggles. At least I think they are. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's try that again, because Cutter clearly became stupid and can't point a gun anymore. I click on something and okay, let's throw this green thing in the shaft. And here's where the game turns even weirder for no reason. Nothing happens at first, then the cursor turns into a shooting icon, and you have to follow, I can't make this shit up, the sliding cursor as closely as possible in order to make Cutter advance forward in what is clearly just a pre-rendered movie.
Can this game be any more random and confusing?
Letter Spice leaves the scene, and I have to trade one of the items with Zip again, in order to get an item which will fix my vehicle, so I can leave this place.
Well, your lucky day today, Mr. Magoo.
Man, I swear, this all happened by just guessing and clicking at things everywhere I went. You then open the side panel of your vehicle, place in the item, which looks like a car filter, in order to provide power to it. Okay, want another annoying puzzle? Here you go, with no explanation given to me. These are 3 hockey pucks that act as reflectable walls that bounce off the green laser. In order to give your vehicle enough power, you need to relay that laser towards those 4 green nuclear bars. Who fucking invented these mini games? There is some hint here. You can sort of see the preferred locations to place them. See, the shot laser is pixel accurate, so any movement with the hockey pucks needs to be pixel aligned. Imagine doing this shit in real life anytime you have engine problems with your car. You can't just swap out the battery. No, fuck that. Imagine the car manufacturer wanting you to solve highly annoying puzzles while you freeze to death in the middle of the road. Again, somehow after many tries and another half hour of trying, I finally did it in seconds by minimally sliding those pucks. Fuck this shit for real. God damn it! Letter Spice is back again and somehow betrayed me to the Shadow Company. Now watch how cool Cutter is.
Now, or I'll have to clip your wings.
That move was military graded, my friends. Cutter takes off, and here we go again with its annoying minigame. Who is shooting these white walnuts? After dying a few times, the same thing happens. The game just let me pass the section randomly, with even one particle still in flight towards me. I land my vehicle and Letter Spice was also inside? When did this happen? There's this metal coffin, which is the entrance to a lab, where there's a cyber doctor hidden, an old friend of Cutter. In order to open the coffin, you guessed it, another annoying puzzle. You need to align power towards the batteries on the right by placing these sort of black pipes to make a connection. I swear this is the only puzzle in the game that makes kind of sense. The coffin opens and you are treated with another cutscene. After that, you're on your own again. Let me try some shit. I place this green ball inside this machine, which is a hologram scanner. Rotating the image reveals some sort of tattoo image that Cutter has seen before, triggering a memory. Now this scene reoccurs in the game several times, and I still have no idea what the hell is happening here. I have no clue who these people are, and who that guy still is. Letter Spice turns on me again, and I swear I can't follow this plot. Everyone is pointing guns at each other during the entire game, and lowering them. So here's what I do get. The cyber dog is there to help Cutter get that virus out of his head, but eventually also fucks him over while he's in the cyberverse. Here we go with pointing guns again, and this old man has some of the nastiest teeth. But I do like the way how he laughs at Cutter every time. It's so mean. Time to trip the fuck out. Cutter is in the cyberverse, and here's where the game goes even more off the rails. That British cyber girl from the beginning who got shot is there to mess with Cutter's mind, and drags him even further into cyberspace. Fuck, the game crashed. Cutter then has the option to travel in different verses in the cyberverse, and I won't tire you with how incoherent all this stuff is. You travel between these verses in order to recollect memories or something. Pick the right memory with the old man and his weird teeth. Travel back to Buddha, place the correct weights on the center of this thing, and then you click on the correct metal leaf on the tree. Pick the wrong one and Cutter dies. Pick the right one and you advance. In between you meet a rogue virus with a British accent.
What do you mean? He could have prevented Dilly killing those people.
Listen, he killed them before I realized.
No, he didn't. You knew when he started slapping them around that he was going to kill them.
That needs to be destroyed by shooting at his yellow blob body. Go back to Buddha, click on his third eye, and he goes into Cutter's cyber body. Are you still following with all this? Punch in a code on this panel, get transported to another part of the cyberverse, meet some other character which wants to escape the cyberverse apparently, and holds the key to help Cutter destroy the virus in his head and help him escape at a price. Time for another irritating puzzle, this time resembling Cutter's brain. You need to get your icon towards the center of the brain. This is more like Pac-Man and is simple to understand. Here's the problem, controlling your icon with the mouse is absolute shit. Every time you touch the edge of the pink line, your icon gets stuck, so you need to smoothly move your icon through this maze without touching one pixel of that pink edge. It may sound simple, but it's not. Especially with the maze constantly taking different forms and these viruses flowing around to kill you. It may sound repetitive, but after trying so many times, I just made an attempt to flee as quickly as possible, dodging those viruses, and I got lucky somehow, ending up in the middle. Cutter watches the real world from a distance while Old Teeth Man kills everyone, even Cutter. As time is running out for Cutter's real body, he cuts a deal in which he gets a replacement body, which is a woman. Cutter's conscience gets transported into this new body, but the deal also consists that he needs to take the conscience of the persona who helped him delete the virus into the real world. Now I'll make it sound understandable, but it took me a while to connect these story dots because it's all so badly told. Cutter leaves the scene with the other conscience and runs into Old Teeth Man again, and they both point guns at each other again. There's a short shootout, and Cutter escapes through the same air vent in which I placed that smoke bomb before. I enter something that looks like an info center inside the hotel, talk to the man that I cut a deal with who doesn't sound happy but lets me off the hook, even after I didn't get my end of the deal. At this point I had no idea what the deal exactly was about and how it went wrong, but Cutter sets out towards a new life, in a new body, while the Shadow Corporation is taken out of business.
There you have it, Burn Cycle, a game I couldn't wait to play for 28 years. Does it hold up?
I had a lot of complaints about this game through this review, and I think they are valid in my opinion, considering today's standards. But think for a second, during this era you had a lot of games that had better gameplay implemented, given they weren't all full FMV games, but Burn Cycle feels sloppy. It's surely an ambitious project, with a lot of great ideas, but poorly executed, even for 1994 standards. Complaining about its dated feels and looks is something I cannot do. This was how the world of cool cyberhacking looked like in the 90s, but it does look corny. The real problem lay in its core gameplay, messy storytelling, and maneuvering your way through the game. I understand that it might have been an expensive project back in the day, being completely full motion video, but it seems that's where most of the effort went, and making it into an actual game came second. The puzzles are frustratingly bad and have zero fun factor. Navigating through the world is a slow pain in the ass, and with such a sloppy storyline, it's hard to be kept engaged. Undoubtedly there is a fan base, people who enjoyed the game back in the days and have fond memories of it. To me, Burn Cycle is a double-edged sword. I enjoyed its 90s aesthetic, characters doing overacting, sometimes funky soundtrack, its technical FMV flaws, and its ideas. It's just too bad that it's packaged in such mediocre wrapping. Thank you for watching this new episode of In Retrospective, a series where I talk about retro games and if they are worth playing in this current age. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and a subscribe is highly appreciated. This will keep you notified on new releases, and I'll see you on a next video.